Good morning, everybody. Pastor Randy Fry, Gower Christian Church from Studio 2B here at the mighty Gower Christian Church Media Complex, as I like to say. It's 7 minutes with the Savior. And just to keep me honest, there you go. We'll start it now. Hey, we just heard a little bit of Eric House, one of our great worship musicians on our sanctuary organ, playing some of God of Grace and God of Glory, one of my favorite hymns. And so that brought us into 7 minutes today. So, I keep bragging about this prayer app I have called Lectio 365. The topic today was a higher way, and talking about how God's ways are different than ours, and how God's thoughts, we can't always comprehend them, and we don't always see the plan that God has laid out for us, or for other things, or for our church. That was the reflection for today on Lectio 365, and I think that's always important for us to visit all the time, that our life takes twists and turns. We get called or moved to places that we never expected, and frequently God is moving us to a place that's better than we can even comprehend. Ruth Graham, this was the wife of the late Billy Graham, said something that really makes a lot of sense. She said, "God has not always answered my prayers. If he had, I would have married the wrong man several times." And the prayer, the person who wrote this reflection today says, with the benefit of hindsight, what passionate prayers are there in your past that you're now grateful that God has ignored? What a great question. And then the prayer piece for today was to ask God to help you and I trust his alternative plan, even when every fiber of your being wants something completely different. Man, what a great thing. And Jesus modeled this for us, and we're going to hear more about that as Holy Week approaches. We'll see first of all that the disciples were really having a hard time catching on to Jesus' mission, what the Messiah was all about. And so for them, the Holy Week and the days leading up to it, there was unexpected turns all over the place for them, which they really had a hard time getting their head around. Even for Jesus, the famous scene of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he prays out loud, Lord, if you could, can you take this cup? Can you, take this, where this journey is going? Can you change that? But he does that most important thing, saying, not my will, Lord, but your will be done. And I think that's how we have to approach life too. That certainly, in personal life and in our congregational life, there's been a ton of unexpected turns in the last year. And speaking for my own life personally, since before I went to seminary, I never expected to end up in seminary. Never. I had other career interests, I thought, till God finally got my attention and moved me toward seminary. And even as a pastor, moving on from a church, being moved to a church, and in our system, nobody chooses that. It's a path that you navigate yourself, in conjunction with churches that are looking for pastors. But, to end up in Gower, Missouri after years and years in other places, I never would have imagined it. And yet, God's plan has been so much richer and so much better than what I could have expected. And I think all of you, when you look back on life, can see how that is going. And so we need to be grateful for those unexpected turns. Because when we recognize God in it, we recognize so often that where we've ended up has been in such a richer place than what we could have than the course we could have even charted for ourselves. That's so important. But Jesus is our model here. Lord, not my will, but your will be done. Trusting God in even those unexpected turns, and trusting that God, when he says no, actually has a plan in mind, actually has a direction for us that maybe we don't even perceive at the moment. Thought for today. And I'm going to post this Lectio 365, this prayer app again, because it's been so helpful to me lately. And I think for those of you who are looking to beef up your prayer life, it could be helpful for you too. Prayer concerns, we've been praying for Grayson Veal, a 3-year-old with leukemia, and he is having an important treatment today, getting T cells. So we want to pray that God's healing and favor would work through this important healing process. And we want to continue to pray for Rob Wilson, recovering from a heart attack, suffered last week, and praying that he's back home and his recuperation is well on its way. There's the alarm. Ministry-wise, worship, of course, 10:30 Sunday morning. You can come and worship in our sanctuary, or join us on the live stream through Facebook and YouTube. Youth group does meet this Sunday evening in the Antioch Fellowship Center, so looking forward to seeing everybody after a couple of weeks. And anyway, that's about it for today. And until we meet again, in person or online, I bid you peace.